No Film School's coverage is brought to you by Blackmagic Design, amazing solutions for film, post-production, and television.
Hi, I'm John Fusco with No Film School here at Sundance 2016, and you're about to watch an interview with The Eyes of My Mother director Nick Pesch and producer Jake Wasserman. It's an incredibly interesting film, and the interview may even be more interesting, so enjoy it.
I saw it last night, and it was fantastic. I was struck immediately, and I was like, I gotta get these guys here so I can talk to them about it, because you graduated from NYU in 2011, and for 5 years later, you're here with your first feature.
Yeah.
So I guess my first question is really, a lot of people, like a lot of artists and filmmakers have different paths to get to, their ultimate goal. Whether that's like working at a coffee shop for 3 years or, doing commercial work. How were you able to do this, basically? What was your path?
I went to film school. I met Jake in film school. And I met a lot of the people that I still work with now then, and kind of after we graduated, I was doing music videos at the time, and I got a call from Jake one day being like, I'm working on this movie called James White. Mm-hmm. The director, Josh Mond, is looking for someone to help him. They're basically just looking for someone to go in for a week while they looked for a full-time editor. And I was like, I don't know, I'm not really an editor. And initially I was like, no, I'm not even gonna do it.
Said no.
I said no. Jake called me back and was like, dude, there's, I don't say this often, but I think that this could lead to some really amazing opportunities. Yeah. And I trusted him. And the next day I met Josh and we hit it off immediately. And what was supposed to go for a couple days lasted for a number of weeks. And even beyond working on his movie, we became fast friends, and he was like a mentor to me. Mm-hmm. And eventually just asked, if I had a movie, and I said yes, and he helped me put it together from there on out.
Right, and we're no film school, but I think that a lot of the advantages of going to a film school are sort of the people you meet.
Absolutely,
and,
that's like the advantage.
Right, so I guess talk a little bit about some of the people you've met, the roles that they've taken in this process in college, that they're still with you and they've helped you to create this crazy piece.
We kind of have a crazy story on this movie. Like the cinematographer was my freshman year roommate, mm-hmm. and Jake lived around the corner on the same floor as us.
What dorm were you guys?
Hayden. We lived in Hayden.
Very nice. Eighth floor.
And 8th floor.
Cool.
More than 50% of our crew on the feature went to film school with us and were on the crew of the last movie that I made in film school. Connor Sullivan, who edited with me in film school, edited with me on this.
Right.
Zach Cooperstein, who shot everything I've ever made since I was 17 years old, shot this movie. There were so many people who I had such a shorthand with because I had made 20, 30 movies with them over the course of film school.
Jake, talk a little bit about how you met Borderline Films.
Actually at a housewarming party that I had when I moved into my new apartment. Someone in my building knew a guy that knew Borderline, and they made an introduction, and I just wanted to be, they were heroes to me in film school. Like I knew of their work, I loved and respected their work, and I just wanted to do anything I possibly could to get involved in James White. I read the script, and it just struck me in a way that I haven't felt before in reading a script. And so I met with them, and I found ways to be helpful. And at first it started with no expectations. I was just where I found them a location. And that turned into then actually going to Mexico with them to help put the Mexico portion of the shoot together. And then they didn't have a post supervisor, and I ended up post-producing James White. In the process of this, Nick was assistant editing, and the two of us were kind of helping get the film finished. And again, it was just an honor to be working with them. We didn't expect anything. And the one thing that they are, and you ask anyone, is they are incredibly gracious and generous, and have just been overwhelmingly supportive in all of the things that we want to do, including this film. They were just beyond supportive and kept the sensibilities of the film within their within their taste.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you have like you have such a strong set of taste buds behind like the distribution of your film. So how soon after Sundance last year did you guys start on this movie?
I had shot a short in September before Sundance, partially to prove to Josh that like it was something worthwhile to make. I had a draft of the script that was, starting to form around Sundance, and then we kind of came back and hit the ground running, and then it took, a little bit to get everything together and to get all the pieces, and I learned infinitely more than film school could have ever taught me.
Great.
In those months. And I genuinely mean that. I mean, one thing that I was not necessarily prepared for was that in order to get away with making a movie at the speed with which we made it, you have to spend a lot of time preparing and planning. And we were fortunate that, so many of us are friends, so it was fun to do all of that, but that is a tremendous amount of work. And so we ended up shooting September of this past September. We finished shooting the first week of October, cut for 3 weeks, sent it to Sundance, cut for a few more weeks, and here we are.
Damn.
And basically you finished the film last week.
Yep.
Wow. Well, I mean, it looks great. I mean, like every part of the movie was there. It was a great collaboration, and it gives young filmmakers, I think, hope to see that, they can take their trusted people and go off and make whatever they want or whatever they're passionate about. So, well, thanks guys.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
A pleasure, and congrats.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.